Good morning and welcome to March 26, 2014. It is the final week of March, which means we have some really great stuff going on for you. This is the Maxx Super Awesome Comic Review Show!
Comic Review Show!
Comic Review Show! Ridiculously large amount of comic books to get through this week. So we're going to start with not necessarily the runner-ups or the honorable mentions, but the new releases. Notable new releases. From IDW, we have The X-Files Conspiracy Number 2. This is the finale to the X-Files Conspiracy series, which replaces the IDW Infestation series, where they take all of their licensed properties and roll them into one amazing story. And this time they connected it all through the X-Files, which was really cool. Ninja Turtles, Crow, Transformers. We talked about them all. We loved them all. Ghostbusters. I knew I was forgetting one in there. Also, turning 60. Godzilla Rulers of the Earth, issue number 10. Very cool stuff. We talked about it a couple episodes ago. Really, if any part of you loved your childhood, you will love this book because it's giant monsters destroying everything. I don't really think I need to say any more about it. It's out. Check it out. This one features some pretty wicked monsters. There you go. Probably didn't get any of that. Catfish doesn't like my zooms. But, you got it again. Thank you, off-camera hand. A couple of the DC books made the top 5 this week. There are some that didn't. Mostly the ones that didn't, because there was just too many of them to talk about. Forever Evil, Justice League Dark, issue number 29. Forever Evil A.R.G.U.S, issue number 6, and Forever Evil Rogues Rebellion 6 all came out. A couple of weeks ago, Forever Evil issue 6, the main one itself, left us all sort of wondering, what has happened to Nightwing? Is he dead? Is he alive? Who's going to save the Earth? What new threat is appearing from the other side of the galaxy? So many questions, so very little time for answers. Check out these 3 books, you'll get some more answers in them, and we waited with bated breath for the finale of Forever Evil.
Does anyone really care if Nightwing's dead? Is that like a thing?
That's hurtful.
Does anyone care?
It's really hurtful. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. You're trying to bait me into an argument. It's not going to happen. I was really excited about this issue. Aquaman, issue number 29. It is the DC Universe appearance of Atlas. He's making a new 52 debut. Really cool stuff. Aquaman, in a lot of ways, is similar to Wonder Woman, the Brian Azzarello series. They are taking a lot of mythology that we would all know, pretty commonplace stuff, like Atlas, you know, the god that holds up the sky, and they're incorporating in with some of their more medieval characters like Wonder Woman and Aquaman to make some really interesting story arcs. Jeff Parker is doing a really good job taking over for Jeff Johns, and the art has continued to be solid. So, are you raising your hand for a question?
Atlas holds the world.
Or the sky, depending on what version you read.
Well,
it's the sky that Hercules takes off as...
In real land mythology.
Real land mythology?
Shut up.
I'm sorry, is there a real land mythology? Oh, I want to go to the place where Atlas is a real person!
You don't know.
I do know,
yep.
Actually. Marvel! Speaking of not really having a grasp on reality, let's move on to Marvel. Alright, so I have in my hands 2 of the Marvel books that came out this week. I want to mention there's two other number 1s that came out this week. There was the Iron Patriot number 1, and there was the all-new Ghost Rider number 1. So, check those out. The 2 that I want to really talk about, though, first off, we have Guardians of the Galaxy number 13. It is the conclusion to the trial of Jean Grey. I really loved it because it sets up for the Cyclops miniseries that's coming up.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Everybody's ready.
Everybody is ready. It's written by Greg Rucka. It's going to be fantastic. Yeah, I can't really talk too much about this, or it's going to be spoiler alert after spoiler alert after spoiler alert after spoiler alert. Where did you get the Fantastic Four?
You said it would be fantastic. I was just wondering.
Oh. All right. The other notable Marvel book that came out this week was Silver Surfer number 1. Let me say a few things about Silver Surfer number 1. One, I dug the art. It's really different. We'll get you some pictures of it here. But it's really different for a superhero book. But I dug it. It worked for the story. I loved the concept. I love what they were doing with the different places that the Silver Surfer was traveling. But I kept reading it and I kept flipping back to the front cover trying to figure out, like who wrote this? Like why does Silver Surfer sound like Spider-Man? Why does he sound like that? And then I got to the last page and it was like Silver Surfer by Dan Slott, who is the writer of The Superior Spider-Man. And I was like, that would be why Silver Surfer sounds like Peter Parker. What do we have last here? Yes. A book that by all rights should be #1 this week. But it is not #1 this week. And it is only not #1 this week, not because of any issues with the writing or the art or anything like that. It's a fantastic book, top to bottom, one of the coolest books out there. However, I'm talking about Sandman Overture number 2, which many of you might remember some millennia ago. Issue #1 came out. The only reason it's not #1 is you don't make me wait 6 months and then get to be my #1 book. It doesn't happen. I just have too much bitterness in me for that. So, but no, it really was amazing. It was worth the wait. That's all I'm going to say. Maybe if I'm nice to the catfish, he'll let me show you some interior art. Because, whew!
Top 5 time!
It's time for the Max's top 5 picks of the week! Coming in at number 5. We've been talking about it. We've been loving it. It's the Superior Spider-Man issue number 30. Which, pretty much the finale of the Superior Spider-Man. Or is it? It's Goblin Nation Part 4. Oh, the Superior Spider-Man finds himself way, way, way over his head. And he must look to a very unlikely source to save the woman that he loves. It's full of sacrifice, it's full of heartbreak, full of amazing surprise endings, and the return of the most amazing superhero in... what?
Plus it comes with the Black Widow. That's so cool. Say it.
It is the return of the most amazing superhero in the Marvel Universe. Also, on a side note, it's also kind of cool. No, it's really cool. That there was a couple books that did this week for Marvel. They have actually reprinted all of Black Widow #1 at the back of the book. So you're done reading, the Superior Spider-Man, and you're like, oh wait, what's this? Oh, it's the Black Widow #1, which I couldn't find because everybody everywhere was trying to buy it because why? It's written by Nathan Edmondson. See how I did that? I got your back, buddy. No, really cool. I don't know why it took me so long to start loving on the Superior Spider-Man. As much as Dan Slott's dialogue kind of threw me for a loop on Silver Surfer, the man knows how to write a Spider-Man book. What can I say? Coming in at number 4, from the mind of Brian Michael Bendis, it is Survive. It's a one-shot, I think. It was solicited as a one-shot, but it does say to be continued at the back of this. Wait, I remember now. It's to be continued in the New Ultimates. This is the bridge between Ultimate Cataclysm and, what will be the new reincarnation.
New carnation.
Oops. Not sure that's a word.
Good start. Carnation.
What will be the new Ultimate Universe. So, definitely check it out. It was a really cool book. Starts off at a funeral. Sad stuff. Kind of ends on a downer too, but, it's good stuff.
The whole book is kind of a downer.
Well, the whole world kind of just died, so
it's
they don't have a whole lot to be happy about.
Well, no, the whole world or just New Jersey?
According to some people, that might be the whole world. Not this guy, though. I don't know.
It was.
I mean, everything everywhere in the Ultimate Universe got messed up. I mean, Galactus showed up and tried to eat the place.
I would say it's an intense book.
It's very intense.
It's an intense read.
It's an intense read.
Every moment you're like, how could that happen? How could it?
No! Yes! No!
Exactly like that. That's how I felt the whole book.
And then it ends, and you're like, I need more in the Ultimate Universe. Go and read that. Which comes out next month in April.
You better take it with 4 fingers. 4 fingers.
4 fingers. Wait, I need my four I need my thumb. It's Elfquest number 2! This issue was intense. A little band of elves are being chased around by a bunch of human jerk faces. Polite words for them as they kill some of my favorite people. Or maim others of them.
Are elves really people?
And in this one they call them demons. I just called the little pointy-eared people that I want to hug. I just want to hug all the elves. They're amazing. So yeah, this is the newest incarnation of the... I used it right that time. The newest incarnation of the Elfquest universe. Issue number 2. Like I said, action-packed from beginning to end. You never get a moment to catch your breath. Every time you're like, they've escaped danger, and then the next panel you're like, no, they're back in danger, and then they're like, whew, they're okay, and they're like, yeah, they're not okay, oh, man. And then the final page, broke my heart.
It kind of seems like if Care Bears were less BA, they'd be the elves.
Trying to goad me into a fight. Not gonna happen. My elves will put the beat down on Care Bears any day of the week. Get out of here with your haterade. Sip that somewhere else.
I'll stay frosty
Wait,
while
was this-
I do.
Oh yeah, this was number 2. We're just gonna take a minute to regain our composure.
Let's go.
You done over there? Giggle face.
Catfish has to stop because he's going to have camera shake.
Yeah, well, that's nothing new. Oh! Beware the bitters of March. I want some bitters. Can we go bitters after this?
Okay, Grandpa.
Oh, Grandpa wants some bitters. All right, coming in at number 2. She is the most BA woman in all of comics, and I'm including everybody. She is Amanda Waller, and she has her own one-shot. It was fantastic. And I'm serious when I say that she is just the coolest girl there was ever in comics. She has gone up against Superman and Lex Luthor and Darkseid, and she's like, I don't care. All I got is my business suit and my business heels, and I look good while I'm kicking your behind. Fantastic book. It takes place pre-Forever Evil.
You want to talk about that
So
scene?
I am talking about it. I don't need the book to talk about it.
Good Lord.
Interrupting my vibe
It's in
over
New
here.
Mexico? That's cool.
I'm getting to it.
I love New Mexico.
Yeah.
I don't love New Mexico. God.
Chatty
There is a reason.
Chatty Cathy off camera here. A lot of people are hating on the New 52 Amanda Waller because, you know, she's not like the old universe Amanda Waller. But she is every bit as sassy and powerful. The issue takes place prior to Forever Evil, so don't get thrown off when they open up and they're like driving around in New Mexico and you're like, what? I thought she was stuck in prison. And she's trying, it takes place at the very beginning of her trying to build the Suicide Squad, trying to figure out how she's going to do it. She's talking to some, you know, Eastern European scientists on how to do it, and then all of a sudden one of his rogue experiments shows up. What possibly could you have now?
See where you said driving around? They weren't really driving around, they were crashing to the ground.
Spoiler alert.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
No cars.
They were flying. There was a car.
Later.
Later. You done?
Yeah.
Okay.
For now.
No more sodas for you before we do this. All right, coming in at number 1, it is New Avengers Number 16, which is a Marvel, all-new Marvel Now number 1. Fantastic book. I love all the characters. The New Avengers are the Illuminati of the Marvel Universe. They control everything from top to bottom. They have their eyes set on very large prizes. Their job is to protect it from the biggest threats. When you get to the end of it, you're like, oh my, that was really cool. I want to read it again. And so you go back and you read it again. And then you're like, oh, that was so awesome. I need to read the next one. That needs to be out now. Also, Namor, probably my new favorite Marvel hero. He's just Imperious Rex. Fantastic. And Black Panther's in it, and Doctor Strange is in it, and Beast is in it. Black Bolt is in it, but not a whole lot, and he never really says anything, because if he does, it would destroy the world. That's a pretty cool power. You should have that power.
You always have the catfish.
Catfish will never leave me.
Oh,
New
really?
Avengers, issue number 1, really, actually, issue number 16 was fantastic. Check it out.
Fantastic Four.
Not the Fantastic Four. That's next week. Time for Cutaway, and we will be back with graphic novels.
It's a cutaway. No one likes Maxx. Cutaway.
So much love tonight. All right, we are back to talk about this week's newest graphic novels, and there were some really cool ones this week. First off, right here, we got Chew, Volume 8. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this. It is the long-running John Layman Image series. It's really cool, really wacky, really out there. I'm not really going to break down what happens in Volume 8, but definitely check out Chew if you are a fan of some of the wackier books that are out there. Essentially, the main character derives his super detective skills from eating dead things. He gains their memory from it. So, really cool. The story kind of spins off from there. So that is worth a mention this week. We also have, which I'm very excited to read and have not yet, but Nilsen Ground Thumper by Stan Sakai. And it is Stan Sakai's original Rabbit Warrior. Before Usagi Yojimbo, this was what Stan Sakai was writing. And it's kind of back in print, maybe for the first time, I'm not really sure. But it's hilarious. His not childish cartoons in the sense that they're like badly drawn or whatever, but it's like for younger readers in that vein. But the adult themes, they just mix really well together to make super unique works that Stan Sakai is known worldwide for. Also a friend of Astro Zombies, so very cool there. This is the book that I am most excited for this week. It is called Jan's Atomic Heart and Other Stories. It is an anthology of science fiction stories. It's all done in some really cool black and white artwork from a lot of different creators. We'll have to get some interior shots of this for you. Bam, check them out. Really cool stuff. And the opening pages were hilarious because they break the fourth wall and the person that's like inside the ship lost in space is like, "Ah, blimey, I didn't see you there. Oh, you're here for Jan's Heart, another story." Bam. There you go. On a roll with the story. Rat Queens Volume 1 is out in paperback. This also from Image Comics. It was a runaway smash hit from the Rat Queens. It says here on the back, who are the Rat Queens? They're a pack of booze-guzzling, death-dealing battle maidens for hire, and they're in the business of killing all the gods' creatures for profit. Pretty much sounds awesome.
And eating candy.
And they eat candy, which, you know, who doesn't like candy?
Well, you never know what poet's responsible for what type of candy.
Exactly. They're sneaky, those poets. Another book that I'm amazed is only coming out now, because it seems like this book has been in print for forever, but Uber Volume 1 is coming out. You know what's more terrifying than Nazis? Superpowered Nazis. That's what. Imagine if no one else in the world had superheroes, except for the Nazis. How would that work out? Well, read Uber and find out. It is brutal, not for children. Here we go. Here's some good stuff. Catwoman, Volume 3, Under Pressure. This is the third volume of Brubaker's classic Catwoman story that starts in not When in Rome. That is the Jeff Loeb one. Starts with the trial of Catwoman and moves on from there. This is the third volume. Seriously, Brubaker did one of the best runs on Catwoman that will probably ever be written, and everybody out there that is even a mild Catwoman fan or an extreme Batwoman fan should check all of those books out. I think that's all I have for graphic novels. Yep, that's all I got for graphic novels. Stay tuned for Words of the Show. This is a two-parter because I want to talk about this right here. The Diamond Previews catalog for June 2014. This behemoth of a magazine and its supplement Marvel catalog is all the awesome good stuff that's coming out in the month of June. Everything from comics to toys to statues to movies to card games. All of it contained right here in these beautiful pages. Before we get to the goodness that's in this book, let's talk about things that are coming out in April. Next month we have Batman Eternal is kicking off, which I'm really excited for. It's the weekly Batman comic series. We also have the return of Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man number 1. That's going to be really awesome. And we also have Original Sin 0 issue, and that's going to be the next big Marvel event, which should be really cool. I'm really excited for the creative team that they have on that and what the story is going to entail. So those are the three big books that I'm looking forward to coming out in April. Now, let's get into some of the beauties that are going to be coming up in June. First off, right here from the beginning, on the cover of previews, finally, somebody had a great idea to take the best writer at DC and one of the best artists in the business and put them on one of the best characters. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about the Man of Steel, Superman himself. Let's see what Previews has to say about Geoff Johns and John Romita Jr. taking over Superman. The Man of Tomorrow, Chapter 1, a new era for Superman begins as Geoff Johns takes the reins, and he's joined by legendary super talent John Romita Jr. In his first ever work for DC Comics as they introduced Ulysses, the Man of Tomorrow, into the Man of Steel's life. This strange visitor shares many of Kal-El's experiences, including having been rocketed from a world with no future. Prepare yourself for a run full of new heroes, new villains, and new mysteries. Plus, Perry White offers Clark a chance to return to the Daily Planet. Finally, Superman's going back to the Daily Planet. Finally, Superman's getting the creative team that he deserves. Finally, Maxx can die a happy man. Also, coming out, it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time number 1. I'm assuming from the classic video game. A brand new miniseries from Paul Allor, Eric Burnham, and some of the best IDW TMNT artists ever, including Ross Campbell. Wink, wink. Also, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 35 on the ongoing series is going to be the return of Slash. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. I haven't gotten a chance to flip through the little Marvel book yet, but Original Sin is on the cover and it says Trust No One, and it's got the Hulk and Winter Soldier and Doctor Strange. And yeah, there's some... Oh, and Dexter's got a koala bear. That's cute. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look, there's the Punisher by Nathan Edmondson. It's going to be fantastic. Well, that'll do it for Words of the Show, and that'll do it for our show. Thank you so much for watching. As always, share it with your friends. Tell your friends if you liked it. If you hated it, definitely tell your friends. I love hate mail. It's my favorite. If you ever have any questions or comments or want us to review a book of yours, let us know, and we'll review it. Well, like a book that you're reading that you really love. I will read it and let you know my thoughts on it. Until next week, this has been the Maxx, and I will see you in April. Stay frosty.
If you don't quit saying that,
I'm going to say it now just to spite you.
explode.
Just to spite you.
I will literally explode.
And you thought we were done. No, I got one more awesome surprise for you. This week, it's really number one in my heart and in my mind. Rocky and Bullwinkle, Moose and Squill. Number 1 of 4 is fantastic. Right off the bat, we got Moose, we got Squirrel. They're cruising in a car. It's being driven by who other than Captain Peach Fuzz. And Squirrel's like, I don't like having Captain Peach Fuzz around. Bullwinkle's like, well, I do. It almost guarantees I won't be the silliest character in this story. And the jokes get better from there. You really would have to be there for that one. But it's got Dudley Do-Right. It's got Natasha. It's got all the villains. It's got everybody. It's got Snidely Whiplash. It's got everybody. Relive your childhood with me. Come on, people. It's Rocky and Bullwinkle number 1. Get as pumped as I am for it because it is fantastic. One of the classic cartoons of all time. Give it to your kids. Share it for a new generation. Take it home. Hoard it for yourself. I don't really care. Check it out, though, because it's amazing. Now we're really done.